Good morning, everyone. Welcome all of you to my channel Literature Adda. Today, I am going to discuss about the second poem of class 12 book Flamingo. The poem name is An Elementary School Classroom in Slums. Let's talk about the poet first. The poem has been written by Stephen Spender. He was born on 1909 and died on 1995. Was a poet and English essayist. Spender had keen interest in politics and so he declared himself as a socialist and pacifist. His work concentrated on themes of social injustice and the class struggle. So, Stephen Spender generally used to like that on the topic that is related to society and the welfare of the people. Now, let's line by line explanations of the poetry. Far, far from gusty waves, these children faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pallor, the tall girl with her way down head. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted sweet and young, his eye lives in a dream of squirrel games in the tree room other than this. In this first stanza, the poet talks about the classroom students, the children who are studying the classroom. They are describing about the classroom students. First line is far, far from gusty waves. Gusty waves indicates here breeze winds. It means that the poet here is comparing the child of the slum area to the outside area of the students. इसका मतलब यह है कि जो स्टूडेंट्स स्लम एरिया में पढ़ रहे हैं वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा डल होते हैं, काफ़ी ज़्यादा मतलब उनके चेहरे पे एनर्जी नहीं रहती है रादर देन द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड एंड वेल नोन फैमिली. Now, in the second line, like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their parlor. यहाँ पे जो बच्चे हैं उनको कंपेयर किया गया है रूटलेस वीड्स से. रूटलेस वीड्स मीन्स अनवांटेड प्लांट्स. नाउ हेयर द स्टूडेंट्स इज compared with rootless weeds, unwanted plants. It means that they are unwanted to the. Here, the writer wants to say that these children seem to be unwanted like the unwanted weeds which grow on their own in the fields. Their hair is not neatly done, it falls on their pale face as if they have been torn apart. Now, the children are untidy, they have not combed the hair. They, he describes a tall girl who seemed to be burdened by poverty. Her head is bent maybe because of tiredness or shame. There is another boy who is so weak and thin that he has been compared to a sheet of paper. The boy's eyes reflected greed and he wants to achieve everything. Then he describes another student who is physically disabled. The poet says that this boy is unlucky because he inherited a disease from his father, due to which he has deformed body. Instead of getting any facility from his father, he has received a disease inheritance. This disabled boy is sitting on his bench and is reciting his lesson. At the back of the class, in dim dark area, was a small boy who was not visible to the poet. As he was sitting in the darkness, the poet could see his eyes, which were bright and full of a dream. He was not paying attention to the class. It seemed as if he was rather interested in playing with a squirrel in tree houses. So, overall, in this first stanza, the poet here is describing about the student conditions. The slum area student is not well nourished. They are inherited some disease from his father. They are thin as a paper. So these are the all description about the students in the first stanza. Now, the second stanza is on sour screams walls, donation Shakespeare head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities, built frowly, tireless valley, open-handed map, around awarding the world, its world, and yet for these children, this window, note this map, their world. So, in this second stanza, the poet described the walls of the schools. They are cream in color, like the color of sour cream. This means that the walls are not clean, they have not been painted recently. The walls are covered with different charts and images that must have been donated by different people. There is a picture of Shakespeare on the wall. His head, which is bald, looks like the rising sun at the horizon. At the time of daybreak, the sun is rising at the horizon and is semicircular like a dome shape. There is a picture of famous terrace valley which has a beautiful flowers. There is image of map which helps all in its own way, but for these children the map of the world is irrelevant because the slum where they live is different from what is shown in the map. Their world is only what they see out of the window of the classroom. The slum, their future is full of darkness. Their future is compared to a narrow street, which means that there is no wide scope available for their future growth. These children are far away from the radiant light of knowledge and educations. Now, the third stanza is surely Shakespeare is wicked and the map of bad example, with shapes and sons and love tempting them to steal. Other their slag heap, the children were skin peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel, with mended glass like bottle beads on a stone. All of their time and space are foggy slums. So blot their maps with slum as big as doom. So, in the next stanza, the poet further says that these children living in the slum area have faced so many hardships that they feel every other person be their enemy. So, for them, Shakespeare is a wicked man, Shakespeare is a evil man. Shakespeare is a evil man. They don't find the map to be good thing. They were never liked or loved by anyone, therefore, they hate almost everyone. Their desire of being loved by others forced them to steal. They live in small homes. They have started adjusting to it. Their life is going towards that endless night. This means that their future is full of darkness. These kids are so thin that one can easily see their bones through their thin layer of skin. Their skin is like the thin layer of the cloth, and bones beneath are visible through the skin. These kids suffer from malnutrition. Their, they wear spectacles which are made of steel. The spectacle is also mended. It means that the spectacle has also repaired. They are cheap and very uncomfortable. Even lenses in the spectacles are repaired. The spectacle looks like a stone which have been repaired with pieces of glass sticking out of them. Here, the poet tries to explain that these kids have to face so many hardships in their lives. As these slums are getting bigger, they will destroy the future of these children, and it's very difficult to such kind to escape from them. So if we take the example of the slum area of Dharavi, Mumbai. Dharavi, Mumbai slum area is one of the largest slum area of Asia. In that slum, there are so many child lives there. They are far, far from the facility provided by the government. Now, in the next stanza, unless governor, teacher, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and this window that set their lives to like catacombs. Catacombs means कब्र होता है, grave. Now break, oh break, open till they break down, and show the children green fields and make their world run azure on gold sand, and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and green leaves open history there, whose language is the sun. So now in the last stanza, the poet here is urging to the government that government teacher inspector should visit the slum area. They should investigate the school of slum area, that the students of the slum area can also fulfill their dreams. They are like catacombs. It means that they have also buried like the corpse. वो अभी buried है, वो बाहर नहीं निकल सकते हैं, तो उनको कैटाकॉम से कंपेयर किया गया है. ब्रेक हो ब्रेक मतलब वो कहते हैं कि जो भी बंधन है, जो भी बाधाएं हैं, उनको ब्रेक कर दे, ताकि ये चिल्ड्रन है जो दे कैन विजिट द outside world of their slum area. They can run here and there, they can watch the greenery, they can watch the scenario of outside the slum area. He wants these kids to experience the sand and beauty of nature, as this will lead to a desire of gaining knowledge. They will then go through the white and green leaves. Here, white leaves depicts books and green leaves depicts nature. This will then result the progress. They will able to paint a bright future for themselves. So overall, the crux is that Stephanus Fender is talking about the slum people area. The condition of slum people is so deprived, so government should take care of that. They should provide the facility to the slum people area, so the slum child cannot adopt the way of criminal. These are the summary. These are the poetic device. Simile, like rootless weeds. Simile means to compare between two things with like or age. तो कंपेयर करते हैं दो थिंग को लाइक और एज का यूज करके, तो लाइक रूटलेस बीट्स बच्चों को कंपेयर किया गया. सिमिली है. मेटाफॉर इज इनडायरेक्ट कंपेरिजन between two things. The paper swimming boys, the boy is compared with the paper here. These are the poetic device. Let's go through. Now these are the question answer. Please like and subscribe the channel if you like this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.